My name is Mark. I am 31 years old. This event happened to me a little over a year ago, although I was 30 at the time. I was not popular with the girls at university. Girls sometimes looked at me, but only to copy my exam paper or homework. I didn't have any friends either. Most people I knew addressed me as, "Hey you" or "Blondie," and I don't have a single buddy in my backyard. I socialize and make acquaintances exclusively with people I've met online. A few years ago, I met a girl named Elizabeth online who was a student from Europe. But this is not about that. This is about my neighbor, Aunt Ruth. I've known her all my life. My mom gets along great with her. Aunt Ruth is 55 years old. Her husband was killed in a fight at the club where he worked as a security guard 15 years ago, and she was left a widow in her 40s without ever finding a new partner. She is short and a little overweight but very helpful, polite, and cheerful. I've always liked her, even though she didn't have a model figure. She wasn't shy about wearing skirts that were just above the knee. I used to get nervous when we rode in the elevator with her. Such was the case on the day I want to tell you about. It was early July, a Friday. I was coming home from work. As I was opening the front door, I heard my neighbor Aunt Ruth say, "Mark, please wait a minute." She came toward me with a quick stride. She had 2 huge bags of groceries in her hands. She was wearing a tight gray dress, the bottom of which was slightly tucked up from her quick steps. Aunt Ruth led the way, and I eagerly followed her to the elevator. After walking a few steps forward, she decided to make a quick run for it. She set her luggage on the floor near the elevator and hurriedly adjusted her clothes, blushing with embarrassment. I helped Aunt Ruth carry the things into the elevator as they were very heavy. She asked how my mother was feeling and invited us to her birthday party tomorrow. I thanked her for the offer and promised to be sure to come. I helped Aunt Ruth carry my things to the door and walked down the hall, rummaging through my bag for the keys to the apartment. By now, I had reached my limit of desire. Damn it, I'm 31 years old, and I've never been with a woman in my life. My roommate closed the door, and I walked over to her. I didn't know what I was doing as I pressed the call button. Aunt Ruth opened the door. "Mark, is something wrong?" she asked. "Yes, Aunt Ruth. I left my keys at home, and my mom went to the store. Can I wait for her at your place?" The neighbor agreed and offered me tea, which I declined. I sat down on the chair in the first room. The neighbor turned on the TV and went into the bedroom to change. I threw her a devouring look, which she obviously noticed. She went into the bedroom, changed, and came out looking at me, offering me something hot to drink, which I gladly agreed to. My aunt brought a bottle of red wine, and we settled on the couch to enjoy the dark red drink. The wine was excellent, and the discussion became lively again. We just sat and gossiped, and a warm fire flared up in our hearts. After drinking enough of the delicious beverage, Aunt Ruth opened up and stated that she could see me staring at her. At these words, I blushed uncontrollably and confessed my passion for her. Ruth replied, "I like you too," and moved over to kiss me on the lips. When I embraced her, my joy increased, and the fire that had been burning in me flared into a wildfire. I visited Aunt Ruth almost every day. She turned out to be a very kind woman who missed a man's warmth, and I was glad to help her with it, to give her all my warmth. I was on cloud 9 after finally losing my innocence with my middle-aged neighbor, Aunt Ruth. It was so nice to enter into a close friendship with a woman after years of loneliness and restrained longing. That summer, Aunt Ruth and I entered into a tumultuous love affair. By day, I anticipated our secret trysts with growing excitement. At night, I would slip over to Ruth's house, where she would greet me in beautiful clothes, a feast for my hungry eyes. Our age difference seemed to whet Ruth's appetite. She delighted in pleasuring my 31-year-old body, bringing me to heights of bliss I had never dreamed of. Afterward, we talked and laughed like old friends, with a naughty secret of our own. As fall approached, I began to worry about the future. I had real feelings for Ruth, but maybe she was just enjoying an affair with a younger man. One evening, as we lay in each other's arms, I awkwardly broached the subject of our relationship. To my relief and joy, Ruth gently stroked my face and told me that her love is real. She wants us to be together. I moved in with Ruth shortly thereafter and was happier than ever. We eventually got married in a small private ceremony, inviting only a couple close friends. Of course, tongues still chatter about our age difference as we held hands in our small town, but I don't care. I found my soulmate in Ruth, and nothing else matters to me. Our story proves that it's never too late to find love, no matter how unexpected it may be.